Hello, everyone, and you're very welcome to this late night edition of the Man United Agenda. Manchester United may not have been playing today, but by God, are we in the news. But before I get into that, today we watched Alvaro Fernandez, formerly of Manchester United, a player that Eric Ten Hag, the teabag, declared was not good enough and pushed out the door of Manchester United Football Club. Man's absolutely cooked Mohamed Salah today, and we're left looking like absolute chumps, playing a right back and left back. Pause, gentlemen.
That's a nice way to start the show, Rebel. Yeah, he did look good, and yeah, that's 100% a mistake that we made, but it's not going to be the first mistake that we've made, and it's probably not going to be the last one with Mainu looking like he's going out the door in January. So yeah, we'll see.
Mr.
Yeah, I don't have much to
Positive.
add to that. Just want to say that, yeah, you're right. He looks like a man. I was watching him today, saying he's bigger than I thought he was. He's strong. He's, played really good today, the left back. And he was on our books. I was thinking, wow, this guy was on our books at one point. But obviously, we don't know the inside story. Maybe we'll find out in years to come. Maybe he wanted to leave. Who knows? But good talent. And, yeah, well done to him. We wish everyone well that's been for our club.
Just want to say, before we get into the comments, obviously, a little bit later, hello to Stephanie Griffiths, Andrew Williams, Cullum, what's this here? Vincent Bullock, Bart, the Liverpool fan, Stuart the Red, and that is everyone that has joined us so far. But we'll come back to your comments there now shortly. But it's been a monumentous day for off the pitch reasons for Manchester United Football Club, in that yet another Manchester United alumni has reached the title of Sir. And Sir David Beckham of Golden Balls, Man United legend, receives his knighthood from King Charles. I suppose there's not really much to say on this except congratulations to Sir David Beckham. But we seem to be making a habit of collecting Sirs at Manchester United Football Club now, don't we?
How much are we on now? We're on 5, aren't we?
Alex Ferguson, Bobby Charlton.
Hang on.
David Beckham. Sir.
Come on, let us know in the chat.
Sir Jim Ratcliffe.
That's a bit tenuous now, I think.
An account, really.
So who have you got so far, did you say? You've got Bex,
Charlton,
Alex Ferguson.
one more. That's actually in the chat now.
One more. Matt Busby.
Yeah.
There must be another one.
No, it's 4.
Is it 4, yeah?
It's 4, but so Sir David Beckham becomes number 4. I suppose just congratulations is all that can be said there. But Bart saying hopefully Sir Southgate also this. Oh no, Bart. If anything, he's probably going to be coming to the Dutch fraud over at Liverpool.
Yeah, I think that's more likely.
But it's funny. I was sitting at a table with a Chelsea fan and a Liverpool fan today at lunchtime. And both of them obviously love to wind up the Manchester United fan. And it's curious, though. But the one thing that they all say is they very much are afraid of Dutch managers when it comes to Premier League football, because more often than not, they fail.
Well, it's only one. What other Dutch managers come in and failed?
Didn't De Boer have a stint over here?
Who?
Didn't De Boer have a stint over here with the club?
Oh, shit, 3 days.
Oh, Crystal Palace.
4 games. Yeah, Crystal
Yeah,
Palace.
very
Okay.
short notice. But then you got Gus Hiddink. He done well with Chelsea. You got
Van Gaal.
Well, won the FA Cup with us, didn't he? What's the one I was thinking of? Ronald Koeman turned Southampton around, made them their best side.
Did he go Everton? Did he do Everton as well?
Yeah, he went to Everton as well. But Southampton's where he really, really, what's his name? Pochettino has a lot of his success off of Ronald Koeman's side. You speak to any Saints fan, they will tell you that. So Ronald Koeman done really well over here as well. But Dutch managers know. And I don't like. I'm glad you didn't ask me about David Beckham either, because it's for services to football, right? Services.
And
The reason
sport and charity, I think, or something.
I don't even want to talk. I just talk about him as a footballer. I thought he was a very talented player. Remember, as a young kid, didn't he win? He was on the Bobby Charlton, so Bobby Charlton's football academy and that sort of thing. And he came onto the scene, burst onto the scene with the rest of the boys, the class of '92, and he stood out for his footballing ability. Obviously he had a great right foot. Played really well. Played in the '99 Championship final as well in a different position down the middle. Obviously done his thing as England captain, and had a film made about him. But it's the crossover, isn't it? It's the crossover from a footballer. I stick to the football thing, but when he crossed over to celebrity and all that kind of thing, I'm done. I don't pay that no mind. So I just say, as a footballer, yeah, he was decent. Not my favourite player of all time, but very talented.
Just to add to the list of Dutch managers that failed monumentally in Premier League, Ruud van Nistelrooy and Dick Advocaat.
Oh, you can't say Ruud van Nistelrooy, man. He was given the bloody Leicester job, man. They stank the place out. They were always going down. But yeah, okay, you might be right. Maybe there's more failures than more negatives than positives with them.
Yeah, it made me think, and maybe I'll ask the chat this. What other nationalities, be it from a playing personnel perspective or a managerial perspective, have had struggles in the Premier League? Get your comments in. But while they're doing that, we might as well get to the main event.
You mean the meat on the bones?
You mean the meat and sandwich? The sandwich. So this is all to do with a midfielder that we played against this weekend, by the name of Elliot Anderson, licensed to dominate midfield. So Bruno Fernandes and Casemiro could not cope with his strength, tenacity, and quality in midfield. Casemiro, in fact, resorted to repeated fouling of the phenomenal English man who bossed the central midfield. Shortly afterwards, a report emerged claiming Ineos were desperate to win the race and now began to accelerate efforts to beat our competition in January. Now, we're not going to talk about the source reference here. Where we have heard the information is from a man called Andy Mitten, who does a podcast called Talk of the Devils, and is a little bit more credible than Team Talk, whoever they are. But they obviously had the other information set out, so we used them for what they gave us. But before I come to my panel, again, similar to what Andy Mitten was saying, Forest are intended to rebuff any transfer approaches for their star man. They've drawn a clear line in the sand, pay big money or bugger off. We understand Forest are sitting their stall out at £80 million. United hoping that they can get closer to the £60 million mark. Now, bearing in mind what we paid for them, Boom and Cunha, I think we might struggle to knock down their price. But yeah, he's 22 years of age, has physicality, has stamina, has a defensive work rate. How much credence are you giving to Andy Mitten? Because, as Andrew points out, he was also championing Gyökeres before he went to Arsenal.
It's a quiet week for United. I'm not going to say it's nonsense, but we all know that we're interested in him. We also know that Amrin had a word with him before the game and after the game. We have no idea what he spoke about. They could have been talking about shoes. They could have been talking about their love of cars. It's all speculation at the moment. Yes, we are interested in him. Unless we can get something done in January, I don't think we have a chance. I'll be honest. Once the thingy window opens, summer window opens, I don't see how we're going to be in a fight with Chelsea. Will buy anybody. You know what Chelsea are like anyway. Man City, will probably be looking for a central midfielder. They're going to offer him what? Playing in the same team as the robot. You know, I understand we can still attract players. I get it. But the price that Forest are talking, 80 million, we're talking about 60 million. That's a big difference. You know, I understand that. Obviously, we got wages saved, you know, and maybe a Rashford deal could be done in January. And to be through, really, they probably got money sitting down because the Belabor deal they were going to try and push through. So I'm assuming that they've got money sitting down. So it would be nice. It would be nice to get a play like that in January, but I don't see it happening. And if it comes to, as I said, if it comes to a four-way battle into summer, then we've got no chance.
I'm going to throw a hypothetical at you. Let's just say the stars align and it's possible, but it comes at the cost of a very much diminished summer window. Are you taking that?
Yes. What do we need, Rebel? Look, obviously, we're going to need another central midfielder. Yeah.
Left back.
Left back, yeah. No, left wing back. We got Martinez, bro. We don't need a left back. I think we need a left wing back.
Yeah. Sorry, yeah. No, not left centre, left as in wing back.
Wing back, yeah.
Yeah.
We need cover for Ahmad on the right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A second change because obviously Xerxes will be leaving.
So that's money again. Sancho's off the books. Casemiro will be off the books. Maguire might still be there and reduced salary. Rashford will be off the books and money in. I would. If we could do it in January, I would get it done in January. I would get it done in January.
Bart saying
go on.
Bart is saying left wing back, goalkeeper. Well, we either need a starter or a bench player. That's going to be true because obviously Bindair is not going to be there next year.
No, definitely not.
So obviously a second centre forward, and he's saying 2 centre midfielders.
I think we need more than 2. I think we actually need 3. I'll be honest, I think we need 3 central midfielders.
What about, I know he's been stunted by the injury, but obviously Koenig probably comes back into play next year.
Actually, that's a good point, actually. Okay, maybe we'll still need 2. Definitely. Agate's probably not going to be here. You know, we ain't getting no game time, really. That's 1. Casemiro, 2. No, we need 3. We 100% need 3. What if one of these players get injured?
That's true.
Yeah, you make a good point. You make a good point there, Mr. B, about 3. At first, I'm like, 3? We don't need 3, but you're right. Long term, we're going to need 3 quality players to come through. But yeah, once again, when you go and look in the academy, in that pot there are players coming through, like Rebel said. And just going back to Elliot Anderson, I was very impressed with his performance the other day. He is stronger than I thought he was, big and strong, very good on the ball, doesn't lose the ball. And it'd be a good fit. When you compare him, I used to think Belabor was good because he was young and upcoming, but Anderson, he's English as well. I think he's a very good player. And you got to pick players that, it's like pieces of a puzzle, isn't it? You've got to pick players that are suited for what we want.
So you're saying that, but what you're going to say that Belabor wasn't suited to what we want? Because we were
I'm not saying that. I'm saying Anderson definitely suited to what we actually need. He was up against Casemiro the other day, but someone to drop deep, turn over, get the ball, pop it around, dictate the tempo, and be strong in defensive position. You don't need to tackle these days, do you, Mr. B? You don't rate him for his tackling. No one's saying, oh, he's outstanding at tackling. Doesn't need to be strong. He reads the game and doesn't lose the ball. And these are attributes that in that position that you need to have these days, rather than saying, oh, he's a great tackler. We went for that with the interception stats of Ugarte. And when we're missing out, he might be good at one side of the game, but he's not good at the other side. With Anderson, he's played as a number 8, plays as number 10 in his career. Very talented player, but now he's got the mindset to play disciplined position, and he's strong as an ox as well. So I think Andrew Williams as well has always endorsed him in the chat. It's taken me a long time to sort of get to know him. I thought he was a more attacking player, but I'm really impressed the way he's played that role for England and for Forest
I
as
think
well.
he's a complete midfielder. I actually think he is a complete midfielder. If you put him further up the pitch,
Yeah.
I think he would do a job. Obviously, I feel that he's probably best position is at 8. You know, a box to box 8. He does everything. I think he can do a bit of everything. I'm with you. It was bath time who was talking about Anderson at the end of last season. That kind of put my head onto him, but I still didn't see. I've only really seen it this season.
It was actually Anthony and his brother from Bristol,
Herbert,
who about 3-4 years ago when he was playing at Bristol Rovers was raving about him, saying what a player Elliot Anderson is. And I had a look at him, and he was playing like Gazzo down there, you know. But yeah, it's really interesting that we were in link with him, and the rumours are hotting up now, so that could be something. It would be a good fit. I'll be happy with that because it'd be a good player that we actually need.
Yeah. Yeah, the interesting thing is a lot of people are dismissing the fact that it'd be possible to do that deal in January due to European football. But we have seen before players getting signed up in January that arrive in the summer. So is that a possibility that they front load the deal?
I don't see. We need a player now, Rebel, especially if we're in a half decent position between 1 and 6. I say 1. Obviously, it's not going to be 1, but if we're between 3 and 7, and we're close, then we could maybe offer him that. But I don't see us spending money on a player that we can't get, that we can't use. What if we get him and he gets injured? He plays the rest of the season and does his ACL. Then what are we going to buy? We then get a crop player. I don't see us doing that. I think it has to be. We need a player now. We need a player now.
Andrew is pointing out the fact that Marinakis is a very interesting individual to look at. He's quite temperamental, as we've seen from the way that he cuts through managers. But Bart is kind of suggesting another midfielder, a cash-strapped Villa, Amadou Unana.
I would have taken him I would have taken him last season, but I think we probably moved on. We probably moved on from that. I would have taken him summer, no problem. But yeah, I think we probably moved away from that level now. What did they pay for him? 50?
Something of that region, I imagine.
Man, they're not going to be letting him go for less than 70, then, are they?
He's very good, though, isn't he? He looks really good. Good player in that midfield. Bosses everything, strong as an ox. Like, let me just say this: I've just been watching. I don't know what you guys watch. I've just watched Champions League. Always trying to gauge, where we're at. I think we're still far off that sort of level. Watch the Real Madrid Liverpool game and look at their midfielders. You got Chukwuemende in there, sitting there deep. Protecting things, playing it simple. You got Bellingham, who's outstanding. He's just a level above everyone. And for Liverpool, McAllister is, goes unnoticed a lot of the time, but what a talent he is when scored the goal. Curtis Jones came on, looked very good as well. So there's a lot of good, and Gravenberch, of course, really good player. But yeah, I think we're getting there slowly. You look at the Newcastle midfield, Tonali, Bruno, and Joe Linton. It's there's levels. There's levels to having a good midfield. It's key, isn't it? And we need to get there. As Mr. B stated earlier, we are kind of short in that area. And so we need to sort of get better quality in there once Casemiro gets a bit too old.
Sorry, just saw the injury to Hakimi. Luis Diaz is a bad, nasty mofo. What he did to Hakimi's, whoa, Jesus.
Is it a really bad injury?
It looks to be, yeah. It looks like he has a serious problem, the Moroccan, who was left the field, and who knows how long he's going to be out for. They also lost Dembele during that game, and I think Kvaratskhelia got injured in that game. So,
Wow.
Sorry, what you said? Yeah. So, companies obviously set out his team to attack and maim by the sounds of it. But
they went 2-0 up. I mean, Bayern Munich are looking strong again. Most definitely. Good manager. I like how he talks. He was great in leading.
It's strange how that worked with him. Obviously, he was at Burnley. They got relegated. When he was, Bayern were interested, there was a lot of poo-pooing.
Yeah.
Oh, why are they getting him? He's just been relegated. But it's the level of player that you work with, I suppose, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly that.
Yeah.
Did he get them up? Didn't he get them up to the Championship?
No.
From the Championship, didn't he get Burnley up?
I think he was manager the year they
Yeah,
came up.
he played a great brand of football, Burnley, in the Championship, got them up, and then tried to continue that brand of football in the league and got relegated. But yeah, he's a good fit, proving himself right now. Another young manager. If you look at the great young managers out there right now, Luis Enrique, Xavi Alonso, our guy, Amaran, and Xavi. You know, it's looking good. They're all in the same bubble. Oh, leg break. Okay. Oh, that's horrible.
Just to finish up, Andrew is mentioning Mickey van der Ven's goal. I haven't seen it.
Wow, I've watched it. I've seen he's done it before last season for Spurs, where he just gets the ball and just goes on a run. This time he done it from his own penalty area and just ran with the ball and slotted it home. What a player, man! Wow, he's something else. Is that a big miss? Because he came from Dutch league, didn't he? He didn't come from a bigger club. He came from the Dutch league straight to Spurs, I believe. Or did he come from somewhere else? I can't remember. But yeah, he's very quick. And the goals he scores like that, just fantastic. I remember Alan Hansen scored a goal like that, like when he was in his pomp, getting the ball and just beat the offside trap and just went right through and scored. So yeah, really good player.
He came from the Bundesliga. He was with Wolfsburg.
Okay, that's right. So yeah, top player.
We deserve better to say apparently it's a broken tibia and fibia on his left leg. Oh,
We hate to see that, don't we, guys? It's not nice. What a player he is, Hakimi. Maybe that's, he could lose a yard, and he's all about pace, isn't he? That's really sad to hear.
Yeah. I suppose just to finish up, because it is obviously going to be a shorter show tonight, and possibly again tomorrow night with Champions League once again taking centre stage. We've been watching, not with interest per se, but with amusement, as Wolverhampton Wanderers search for a new manager. We've already slated him at the top of the show for denying us Alvaro Fernandez. But because of the way circumstances are presenting themselves, it's looking like Eric Ten Hag might be the only name in the Wolves shopping basket for their new manager. Are they absolutely out of their minds considering how much their squad has been decimated and how much Ten Hag struggled in Premier League to be even thinking about making that appointment?
I mean, it's a job no one really wants, because I think Gary O'Neill looked at it recently and he turned it down because he probably looked at it and thought, this is too much. You don't turn it down, especially when you've got a connection to a club like that. It's a Premiership job. Even we saw what happened with Ruud van Nistelrooy last year. He took on a job and got relegated and lost his reputation. His stock went down. So it's going to be a hard find for Wolves to find somebody. Even though they got rid of players, they brought about 8 players in, and these players haven't got off to the ground running yet. What they didn't do is what the Sunderland did. We brought in a bit of experience. What Brentford did, brought in a bit of experience with Henderson, and they brought in players expecting them to sort of fly off the mark and get going, but when they haven't got no Premier League experience. So it's going to be a really tough ask for Wolves to survive this season with the start they've had. And any manager coming in now, I mean,
I think they're guaranteed down. I think they're guaranteed to drop. Yeah,
it's gonna be hard to turn it around. The morale's low. The players need to get bedded in and everything. Where's Sam Allardyce when you need him?
I think he'll take the job. If they offer it to him, he'll take it.
Robbie Keane is the other name that's mentioned with it, by the way. But we deserve better, just for clarity's sake. When I talk about struggles, I talk about the last couple of months that he was at Manchester United Football Club. Obviously, now Ruben Amorim had his struggles with that same squad until the end of the season. But things had dramatically gone downhill from when he got us into Champions League position with winning an FA Cup. So I suppose when you talk about struggles, you can only judge them on the period just before they got fired. And in that season, he was struggling.
It's definitely Griffiths, man. You give me a joke. I tell you.
Actually, we did get some good news today. Despite all the fluff and all the media pages that were printed regarding Sancho and triggering that extension, it looks like finally somebody with a bit of common sense in Manchester United Football Club said he will be leaving on a free. So sense has prevailed for once at Manchester United Football Club, and we will not be paying a bum 250 grand a week to sit in his keister.
What a
I'm
fool
glad
for
he's
Greg.
going. I'm glad he's going. I'm glad we're not extending his contract. But I'm going to ask you something. If they would have extended his contract like people were talking about, what would have been the point of that? Just out of curiosity. I thought he was just nailed on that he was going to be going.
I think there's some number crunchers. They were trying to determine whether or not there'd be some sort of a paper write-off that would be more beneficial by paying him his wages and extending the period of his outlay and his transfer fee by 12 months. And obviously, they've sat down and realized they don't get that benefit. They were going to basically sacrifice cash money and wages for a book write-off of hypothetical monies.
You know what's really embarrassing for us as a club and why we kind of deserve to be in the position we are? We spent money on Anthony, we spent money on -9 and Sancho, 3 players there that we're not.
Actually,
Yeah,
you
but
mentioned
let's be
Anthony.
honest. Sancho was causing a chaos, man. At Dortmund, he was fire, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So Anthony, I would put in that bracket definitely, but the Sancho one, I mean, he was involved in everything.
Yeah, but
Did
it
you see
was still
Anthony's 2 goals at the weekend?
Whose goal?
Anthony scored a brace at the weekend. 2 absolute peaches.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Is Anthony still a Man United player?
No.
No,
He's
it's done.
actually got the books,
He's
okay.
sold, yeah. But
Well, that's my point. We need that. That's another reason where we have to look at and change that. Don't make that happen again for the next 30 years, where we sign 20 players and they turn out to be major flops for us. That's a big thing. Let alone players like Rashford leaving, getting upset, Greenwood situation, things like that happening. It's really bad for the club. We need to turn that around and start saving our reputation, because that's really put us in the mud.
Actually, just to wind up, because I'm just noticing that there's a report on Johnny Evans and the reasoning behind the unique tactic of Ruben Amorim. But somebody did a comparative with Virgil van Dijk. And if you didn't actually, as Monday likes to say, perform the eye test and actually watch the games of football, he was actually quite comparable on some statistics, which is kind of crazy.
Who, Johnny Evans?
Yeah.
Yeah. Watched a nice interview of him. He comes across a really nice guy. He was with Jamie Carragher and they would have a discussion. And he's just so really, like, first time I really listened to him. Real top pro. And I looked at the comments as well. And I thought, am I the only one seeing this? And all the people in the comments like, wow, what a nice guy. What a really, really top man, you know? So it just shows you, doesn't it? He said, after all his Man United career and winning the league with us, whatever, his highlight of his career was beating Ukraine for Northern Ireland in the Euros, or some sort of major international thing. So, really got up in my estimation, Johnny Evans. What a player. What a man.
And just, I suppose, few comments to take. As of yet, we know as much as you do, Baliba, about Baliba, Wise United fan. There was a story doing the rounds that we were going back in from. As you know, Brighton are not easy to deal with when they put a price on their player. We saw what happened with Moses Caicedo when Chelsea were chasing him. Baliba has struggled this season. He's been hooked quite a number of times from games that he started. And I'd imagine, obviously, we know the quality is still there. A player doesn't just go to crap overnight. But I'd imagine United would be hoping that will push down the price somewhat. But you got to ask yourself, when you look at other targets, the likes of your Whartons, the likes of your Andersons, and players of that ilk that may be going under the radar, somebody if we get a proper scouting network going, is there better value to be had elsewhere for the amount of money that Brighton are trying to get off you? Go on.
Yeah, just round. Nothing to do with Man United, but I saw it earlier. I thought, wow, it's actually close. Who's for Chelsea? They've had some great defensive midfielders. Who's the better player of Kante, Makelele, and Salcedo?
Kante.
Kante's better than Makelele.
Yeah.
Better than Salcedo.
I suppose
Yeah.
to be fair though, Claude's best football wasn't really with Chelsea. It was Madrid, wasn't it?
Oh, well, he was at Madrid, but he played well for Chelsea. He was outstanding.
I go Kante, man.
Okay, fair enough. You think?
Mm.
Can you make a summary as to why you go with that argument over
Well,
the other two?
Caicedo has only had 1.5 seasons of playing well.
Yeah, fair enough.
Makalele, they called it the Claude Makalele role, did it? They called it the Claude Makalele position, but I just think Kante, man, he was just. I mean, what was he? 5 foot something or other. I just think he was
You're
great.
endorsing all the short footballers.
Yeah, I'm talking. Yeah, listen, you know me, man. You know me. Short footballers, short women.
Like when you look at his career, he spent 5 years at Real Madrid. He spent maybe 2.5 seasons at Chelsea. But the majority of his career was actually in La Liga, where he played for Celta Vigo and for Real Madrid.
That's Makalele.
That's sorry. Hold on.
He played in the French. He played for a French club prior to that.
Yeah, he played for FC Nantes and Marseille and Sporting Moon. But like
so Kante won the World Cup. So did Makalele. And I was just looking at it, but it's funny, isn't it? They're three similar players, three similar statures, and really world class. I would say all of them are really world class players for Chelsea in that position.
Celta Vigo, by the way, Andrew, is the Spanish club you're looking for before Real Madrid. Now, for bonus points, what was actually the highest price that was paid in a transfer for Claude Makalele in euros?
It must have been what Chelsea bought him for. Must have been what Chelsea paid for him from
15.
bloody.
You're right. It is the Chelsea transfer. It's not 15 million. That was what Madrid paid 14 million for him.
Okay. So maybe double if he was there for 5 years.
20 million euro.
How much?
20 million euro is all they paid for Claude Makalele.
15 million pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah. Quality.
But,
this is the thing. He won the Champions League with Real Madrid. They didn't really think they didn't appreciate him as a player. They let him go. And then he went to Chelsea and done the business with Chelsea, obviously winning the league and
he has the Champions League, as you said. He has 2 Premier Leagues. He has 2 Spanish leagues.
And the World Cup.
He has a French Cup. And he has a UEFA Super Cup. He does not have a World Cup.
What about the Euros in 2000? Was he in that?
Doesn't appear to be. No. Hang on. Let me just. There's a couple of more English League Cups, Intercontinental Cup, Super Cup.
Okay. Mr. B's fair. Mr. B makes a good argument because he win the league like with Leicester and then straight away with Chelsea and some record like that. Amazing.
I suppose I am conscious of the fact that we have the Man United agenda, not the Chelsea paddock. So
we are it's a football show. It's a football show, and we're talking about caliber of players like Elliot Anderson that we want, and we're fortunate. Chelsea have been fortunate to have abundance of players in that position that we would like.
I am going to try and comply with the wishes of Yabba Forbes. We have gone over the 30 minutes that he has wanted us to do tonight. So we have been the Man United agenda, and we will bid thee a good night.
Good night.